Hello, friends. It's Phil, and today, my friends, the good news is the sun is out. The sky is blue. There's a slight wind, and the temperatures are just perfect for early spring and seeding work, let's say. So, today, um, actually, interestingly enough, around about, say, between 5 and 7 a.m. this morning, it absolutely tanked it down. I mean, proper rain. You know, that sort of rain that, not the rain that gets you really wet, but the proper rain that gets you absolutely beltingly soaked. Yes, it came through last night or between 5 and 7. And I was lying there in bed because it woke me up and I thought, oh my God, what an absolute shocker. Because I've got relatively small, around about 60 square meters of lawn area to prepare for seeding. And I thought, how am I? Really, I thought, oh God, bollocks, not going to be able to do it. But look, that downpour, that actually sounded like it was lashing down so much, it sounded like wind. But it was really wind. Well, it was raining like it was absolutely tanking down, and there was the wind, and then the sun came through the window. I mean, we're nearly April, right? So we call it April showers, but it wasn't April showers. It was April tanking it down showers. And then the sun came out, and the sun was warm, and the sun dried out has dried out things really, 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 really effectively, really, really quickly as well, because of that little wind that's there. So the good news is I had the opportunity to put a smile on my face and go and do this seeding job. So just for reference, the seeding job is actually part of a service that I provide called Lawn Plan Complete. What I do is I grow a lawn from seed and I look after it for its first year. So I kind of grow the lawn and then I green keep it. Kind of, that's the way I think about it. Is I grow it out, I regularly cut it, I regularly feed it, and at the end of the year I give it back to the people that I've been working for as their lawn. But all too often, they keep me on for years and years and years to look after such a fine piece of work, let's say. But look, I thought I'd basically share one of my delights of today more than anything is that when you're growing a lawn from seed or when you're preparing a lawn, the one thing that can't be rushed, the one thing that you can be patient about, the one thing you can take a relaxed craftsmanship kind of view on is the levels of the lawn. Now, keep in mind the same obsession with levels and patience really should be applied to turfing. But look, turfing, you always buy in. The turf is grown on a bed, and depending on the cut of the bed, sometimes you get, say, 10 mil of soil, and sometimes you get 8 and 7. Sometimes you get that soil, which kind of allows you to possibly be less considering of the levels because that soil might have a bit of sand in and it might have some other materials in that break down that ultimately might make the lawn less levelly kind of thing if you're with me. But look, when you grow from seed, there is no organic material of any description that's going to go on top. It's going to be as level as it's going to be. And as the seed grows, those levels won't change, which is quite exciting, really, because what you're doing is you're growing a lawn from a level that you determine. Slightly different experience when you set the levels on, say, a lawn area that you then turf on. You don't have the same level of what you don't have the same opportunity to have the same level of obsession, the same level of patience, the same level of, I'm going to go back and maybe make this seem slightly flatter. But look, today, and it was just a small lawn, and the sun came out, and the dressing nibble, which was just a standard finely screed topsoil, it allowed me to make the lawn perfectly flat. I mean, perfectly flat. Almost like so flat, it was flatter than a flat thing from Flatland. Or, if we're honest, is like it was so flat, you could have played pool on it. You could have played snooker on it. It was flat as a flat thing from Flatland. So, keep in mind, I don't tamp it down. This 10, 15 mil of root zone. I just grade it off with a rake. And I've got two sides to my rake. One is I do the raking piece, and then the other side is the grading piece. So it kind of does pack itself down a little bit, but I always make sure that before the seeding work, I give it a rake to loosen it up. Then, once it's perfectly flat, like the flattest thing from the flattest land of the flattest thing you've ever flatness believed in, I then seed over it. And today I was seeding at 50 grams a square meter because I want a really full lawn. And actually, on this lawn, which is particularly shady, I'm overseeding it because I want to put a bit more grass in there to see if it helps the lawn tolerate the shadiness a bit more. We'll see. I've done it before and it worked quite effectively, so we're going to do it again. But I overseeded at 50 grams a square meter, right? And then I had to go back and agitate the seed into the flat bed. I had to agitate it, which kind of agitated me a little bit because it was so perfectly flat. And then it wasn't flat. But then, after I'd agitated the seed in, I then turned my rake over and luted, let's say, gently graded, gently ironed the surface to pack down gently the seed into the surface root zone, let's say. And at the end of it, it looked perfect. It looked flat. The seed was in the ground. There's a bit of seed to be visible at the top, and maybe the birds will come down and have a little munch. But I've got a couple of bird scarers on there. I'm not going to cover it over on this particular lawn. I'm just going to let nature do its thing and see what happens, because I'm interested to see what happens in shade with this type of seed that I'm using. So anyway, the long and the short of it is, and the moral of the story is, when you're woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning and it's tanking it down with rain and you're planning to do the seeding job, don't worry that you can't do the seeding job, because you can do the seeding job because, let's say, I wasn't expecting the rain, but the rain came. But then it wasn't expected, so it didn't last long. But then the better weather came in, which was perfect for the job, and the job ended up being perfect. It's just the start of a new lawn plan complete customer. Just the start. And in the next 28 days, the grass will grow, and then I'm going to put down my magic fertilizer and my magic feeds and my magic stuff to help the grass grow and develop. And hopefully within 6 to 8 weeks, we will have best part of a perfectly flat lawn and a perfectly, almost perfect. I'm hoping for an absolute 100% coverage on this lawn. But we will see. Only time will tell, my friends. Anyway, that's all for today. As a little footnote, tomorrow, which is Saturday, I'm doing an open Zoom call. It's called Open. And the Zoom call will be between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., 6 hours. And I'm going to be sharing the link to the Zoom call on the All Gardening Cafe on Facebook, which you might not have heard about, but I'm telling you to go and have a look online. All Gardening go on Facebook, All Gardening Cafe, join the group, because we're going to do an experiment tomorrow. We're going to open up a Zoom channel for 6 hours, and we're going to share that link to the group, which is just under 6,000 people worldwide. Now, I'm not expecting anyone to come. I think some friends might come along around the world, but I don't really know what to expect. But you never know. Hundreds might turn up, even thousands, but I doubt it. But if they do, like a lawn grown from a seed, we will see what happens and then make adjustments as we go along. Anyway, look, thanks for listening. I'll catch you very soon. Next week, actually, because I have the weekend off from doing the podcast. But I will tell you all about what happened with the All Gardening Cafe Open Day on Monday. Anyway, thanks for listening. Catch you soon. Take care. Ta-da. Bye.